Dear brothers, some beautiful lessons from today's Liturgy of the Word. We listened to a passage from the beginning of the book of Tobit. Tobit is in exile in Assyria in Nineveh. Naturally, a person could have become very bitter. Lord, are we not the chosen people? Why should it happen to me and to my people? Such kind of agonizing experience, but then he doesn't forget God. We are told he was about to begin his meal. He thinks of his other countrymen who would not have had anything to eat. He sends the son to fetch a beggar, a stranger, a poor man to dine with him. The son comes and reports, I went in search of one of our countrymen. Unfortunately, I only found a man who was beaten to death. Tobit stops his meal, waits till the person is buried, even though he had been warned not to do these kinds of burial. God is never absent. The kindness of Tobit, the fidelity to the law of the Lord of Tobit. Come what may, going on doing what is right of Tobit must touch our hearts right at the beginning of the academic year. You may be all alone, but God is always there. You may be in a strange land. Even Bangalore may look strange for the first year philosophers. St. Peter's may look a little more strange, but God is never absent. Do good, do not flag in your zeal. Persevere in learning, in growing in knowledge and virtue. That is the invitation. The Lord sees, the Lord will take care of, not for human beings. You live, you don't want to please anyone. Something similar in today's gospel also. How can we think of people being so ungrateful? You know, in this city, people buy a piece of land after so many years of saving. They borrow money and put up a small house. They don't want to live in that house. They give it for rent because they have to pay the loan. They have to pay the due. Imagine when the tenants do not pay the loan, how they would feel. A great farmer prepares everything necessary. There is a watchtower, there is fence to the land. The land had been really fertile. He gave to the tenants, but then they are so ungrateful. They beat servant after servant. Even the son, they don't accept. They do away with him. We are all stewards. We are all accountable for the enormous gifts that we have received from the Lord. The gift of life, the gift of our Christian faith, the gift of our formation up to this day. Let us not forget the fact that we are accountable. Again, the master of the vineyard is never far away. He may look far away. God is never absent. God may seem to be indifferent. Do not live recklessly and selfishly. You may tend to live recklessly and selfishly, thinking that the master is far away. But the master will accomplish his purpose some way or other. We have to give account for every minute, for every day of our life, by producing fruits according to the expectation of the master. We can even put ourselves in the place of the vineyard itself. The vineyard sometimes is entrusted. We may feel that we are entrusted to people who are not taking care of us. But then ultimately the Lord will see to it that the vineyard bears abundant fruits. By taking the vineyard away from those irresponsible people and giving to people who will bear fruit. Let us trust in the Lord. Look at Tobit. Look at the Lord who wants us to live responsibly. And may the Eucharistic celebration energize us with the necessary strength for the academic year to lead meaningful lives, always conscious of the presence of the Lord. Amen.